Well, I'm not sure if this is recording properly, but we'll give it a try anyways. So if you can't tell, it's a bit summer-like today. I think today is the first day of summer. Thought I'd give you a little update. Just on the what's and wherefores of what's happening here. So, yeah, let's have a quick look at what's been going on since the last time we spoke. Well, the first big news is that this morning the guys came by and installed this on the side of the back of the house, and right now they're at the front of the house installing another one. And that is because the roofer is going to be arriving soon, and they will use this to get up there and tear off all the old slates, replace any of the bad wood up there, and replace all the flashings, and put our tiles, our slates back up, and then if we had some broken slates, they'll replace those with slates just like ours. And meanwhile, I'm going to try and use the scaffolding where I can to do some painting and stuff up there. Unfortunately, the scaffolding doesn't cover that, and that needs some paint. Anyways, we'll figure out how we're going to do that. But in other news back here, that little innocuous little square right there, you can see it, is the water main where it comes in. And from there to the back of the house is a lead pipe. And then inside the house is all lead. I found these guys who are actually going to tunnel this and replace the lead main with a new main, which is going to come up over here instead of over there where the current one is. So we'll make that lead one defunct. It'll come up under the wall here, come into the utility room here, and it's going to come up through that floor against the wall. And that's because right there is going to be the boiler and the controller for the solar thermal, and then on this side is where the cylinder is going to go. It's going to go right up here against this wall, which, as you can see, has a coat of finish plaster on it, except for that little bit up there. So I still have some more plastering to do up there, but maybe tomorrow I'll finish that. Yeah, and of course the floor has been completely stripped of everything other than the concrete base. So once this new main goes in over here, then we're going to clean this up, and we're going to put some insulating boards down here, and then on top of that we're going to put some old-fashioned linoleum, not vinyl flooring, linoleum, made of linseed oil and jute and whatnot like that. More on that later. This is what has been called the breakfast room or the servants' room because of the servants' call buzzer up there. But it's going to become our kitchen. This room back here is going to be the utility room. There's going to be a washing machine over there. Like I said, the boiler, the hot water cylinder. And then in this room, it'll have all the things that a kitchen is supposed to have. By the way, that's the boiler. It's going to go in the utility room. We're going to have a sink right about there. And then right there where that coil is, kind of about there, is our range is going to go there. Fridge is going to go there. And then we're not going to have built-in cabinets and whatnot. We're going to have tables, like in the Edwardian style. We're going to have tables, and we're going to have Welsh dressers and stuff like that. So that's how this is going to be finished out. Anyways, let's carry on. You notice if some of the floorboards are down now. We're about ready to test the central heating system. So you see these loops of pipe. These are loops where the hot water supply is being looped back and connected with the return circuit so that we can see if there are any leaks in the system. And if there aren't any, if there are some, we'll fix them. If there are, then we will drain the system down again, and we will then connect them to the the radiators. So we'll connect the radiators, leave them switched off, and one by one, starting with the radiator closest, hello Cosmo, closest to the boiler, and working our way to the furthest, we will open them one by one to see if the radiators have any leaks. And there's one there. There's another one there. Again, you'll see this crazy loop of pipe. That's so we can test to make sure there's no leaks, whatnot. Another loop here for that big honking radiator here. This is the only fireplace that's been ripped out completely, so there's no fireplace there anymore. That was ripped out completely and cemented over. So we're going to use that space because it'd be an awkward space to lean any furniture against. We're going to use that again as a heat supply for the room by putting the radiator there. And that frees us up with some extra room by the window over there where we could sit and whatnot. It's a nice spot. There's our Mixergy cylinder, which I've spoken about in another video. Which, if you're interested, it's quite an interesting cylinder because it can sense the temperature of the water all through the column, and you can tell it, oh, I only want to keep that much hot, or I want to keep that much hot. I've got guests coming over, so I want that much of it hot. And normally, since there's only two of us, we'll probably only keep that much hot. So there's a coil inside here which is heated by the boiler. There's a coil down here which is going to be heated by our solar thermal array. And so that will give us background heat, and during the summertime it'll probably heat the whole tank, and we probably will never have to have the boiler come on to provide us with domestic hot water. In the wintertime, then it'll take over because there won't be nearly so much hot water from the sun. But yeah, so that's that. And front rooms here is kind of the messiest at the moment, strangely enough. This is Cosmo's room where he contemplates the universe. You can see through the windows that we've got scaffolding going out. The windows are a bit torn up on the outside because I've been finding out where the leaks are. I mean, not leaks, where the rod is, and preparing to cut it all away. So I've removed some of it. I've got a good idea of what I'm going to do. That's why that table saw is down there. So a bit of joinery going to take place soon. The only thing that's really happened up here has been the addition of the radiators, some cleaning up, and putting the floorboards back, at least temporarily. And a little radiator in the box room or the nursery, and a bigger radiator under the window here in the master bedroom. Big radiator here in the second bedroom. This right here is the radiator for the bathroom. I'm leaving it here until, because the bathroom still is going to need a new floor, and I'll show you that in a second. So there's no point putting that in the bathroom. The toilet room, I've taken all these had MDF panels on them, so I've ripped all those off and exposed the original paneled doors. And I've done that throughout the whole house. Ready for testing, except for the domestic hot and cold, which are these two open elbows here. I'll plug those off and we can test the water supply in there. But yeah. And then you go into the bathroom. I did a bit of a cleanup just now. You know, it still looks pretty horrible, but I've plastered that big chunk where the plaster had come away. I still have this little patch right here to do, so I'll do this in the one downstairs probably tomorrow. The orange bit is where I've peeled away the Artex. You can see kind of how thick it is. It's almost like a wallpaper, really. But yeah, I've taken away. This took 2 days to do that section and that section, and not a lot of elbow grease, it has to be said, because what you do is you cover it with, you slather on the stripper, and then you put wet paper towels or cloths over the top, and then you slather more stripper on the other side of those cloths, and then you cover it in plastic and then leave it overnight. Just keep don't let it dry out. So I probably got between that and that section. Whoop, sorry, lost track of where it was. I'm guessing that there's probably another 4 or 5 days of stripping that has to go on here. Yeah, I'm guessing it's something like that. But, you find some interesting things. Like, there's some nice wood underneath all of this paint. There's a lot more stripping to do, but yeah. There'll be some nice little discoveries there along the way. And there have been some fun discoveries along the way. And this is the rear bedroom. This is a really nice bedroom, this one. These white pipes, as you can see, it's a hot water supply in return. And that'll hook up to that radiator there. Cosmo loves this spot in the afternoon. It gets a lot of sun. It's a nice breeze. It's warm today. It's a view out the back. Some very friendly neighbors here. Very friendly neighbors. And this is Sunderland. It's a weird town. I should do a video just about Sunderland. It's what the conservatives might call a northern shithole. But hey ho, I think it's all right. There's some marble. It's underneath, waiting for us to expose. So yeah. So that's what's here. So the demolition is it over? No. We're about to demolish our roof. Well, and a few other things. Hold on. So as I was saying, the demolition is not yet over. As I pointed out earlier, the demolition of the roof is about to begin. I say about. I have a feeling he's not going to be here for at least another 2 weeks, maybe 3, something like that. Solar thermal stuff arrives Monday afternoon, late afternoon, and I think the week after next, we'll hopefully be in a position to start putting the boiler and the cylinder in place. We might not be able to do that permanently because I still have to get the floor down in there. So there's a lot to do there. But yeah, anyways, really I just need like a week to do the floor in that room and get it right. But yeah, when you're doing stuff in old houses, a day is quite easily 2, and 2 days is quite easily 4, and a week is quite easily 2. So, but hopefully in 2 weeks' time, we'll be able to put in the boiler and the hot water cylinder, and test. Maybe be in a position to test the central heating pipes and whatnot, and the domestic hot water. I think the new water main is going to go in about the same time. So trying to choreograph the installation of the main, the replacement of the floor, the installation of the main, the replacement of the floor in the utility room, the installation of the boiler and the cylinder, the testing of the central heating and the domestic hot water and cold water, all that stuff is, trying to get that to sort of line up because one depends on the other kind of thing. So it's, I think that's going to be a challenge. I have a feeling that we're not going to get that stuff done for probably 3-4 weeks. But yeah, I'm going to do my best to make sure that my part of it, the flooring, is done in time. because I also want to line up so that the solar thermal stuff, which goes up on the roof, of course, the roof's going to be taken off soon. We don't know exactly when, but I think in the next 4 weeks. And while it's off, that's when we want to mount the racking system for the solar array that goes on the roof, and then run the pipes through, the plumbing through, before the roof is finalized, so they can put flashing around it and so on and so forth. And then we could take a bit more time once that roof is up and the solar thermal array is on it. We'll have time to then finish the plumbing to that. So, yeah, that's another bit of trying to coordinate stuff. It is kind of like trying to choreograph something or trying to direct a play where no two players speak the same language. It's a challenge, but it'll happen. I mean, I'm not the first person to try and do this sort of thing, so I'll get it wrong the first time, and then it'll go right. Anyways, that's what's been going on here. I hope life in your world is a wonderful thing, and yeah, I'm eager to get cracking here and get to the point where the house is habitable. So I think maybe another month or two, as little as a month, probably more like 2. This place will have hot and cold running water, and it'll have a bathtub and shower and a cooker in it and all the rest of it. And it'll be a place that you can live in without having to go somewhere else to bathe or cook or what have you. Anyways, enough. Have a great weekend. I know it's a little ways away yet for the weekend, but have a great one when it arrives. See ya.